Hey guys, Kev here, and I have another flashlight review to do for you. So this is a big boy. This is one of the bigger lights that I have reviewed. This is the Wuben X1 Falcon, and this comes in this white color, which is very cool, off-white, and then there's also a black color. It's somewhere around $180 to $200. I think the white one's $199. And the cool thing about this light is obviously the size and output. They list this at 12,000 lumens. Now, you always got to be careful with those lumen numbers and everything, but they are listing it at 12,000 lumens on turbo, and that will last for 1 minute. So you got to keep that in mind with these flashlights. Whenever you hear these turbo numbers, it's always, on turbo, and how long is that going to last, right? But it's a pretty good blast of light, and a minute is actually fairly long for turbo mode. And then it drops down to 3,000 lumens, but you'll get an hour of runtime on that. According to them, you'll get an hour of runtime on that 3,000 lumens. So imagine if you were just using 1,000 lumens, right? You're going to get a lot of runtime, and that's a lot of light right there. So this thing, I think, comes in handy for camping situations, stuff like that, because you're going to get a lot of runtime out of it, and size doesn't necessarily matter in those scenarios where this is a pretty big flashlight. So one thing I want to get out of the way is you can purchase a bike clamp separately. I don't know if I'll be able to squeeze in a video or anything of a bike with it, but I did want to show it to you. So basically you mount this plate right here. There's two holes. You'll see in a second because I'm going to remove it for the rest of the review. And then you have this bike clamp right here, and you just pop it on like that. You can rotate it in any orientation you want. And then right here is a lock. So once you get it where you want it, you can lock it. So it's not going to just be twisting all over the place on you. So that's a nice little feature, and that goes 360 degrees right there. Here is the clamping system. You have this screw you put through. Well, obviously you can take it out. Show you that just so you know, because I haven't actually tried it. Take it out, put it around whatever handlebar you need, and then you can tighten this bad boy down and, well, you guessed it, clamp it. Oh, you can just lift it up like that. Perfect. And then fold down and clamp. So very, very cool. And then when you don't need it, you just pull up here and slide back. Very simple. Only downside I'm seeing here is it's plastic. It's not, tough metal construction. I think it would get the job done as a bike lamp. I don't know how long this would last, but you could probably buy these separately. Or you can, so I'm sure you could replace it for an affordable price if you needed to. So then down here, we just take a Torx screw, not a Torx, a Phillips. I'm using a Phillips number 3, I think, here. And there's a couple of washers on each side. It keeps everything together. Oh, there's a nut, actually. Interesting. Didn't even see that. That's kind of weird. So the nut goes against there. Huh. All right, but anyway, this can all be stored together. So you just take it like this, pop it in, and now you can store this by itself. And then here, again, we have the flashlight. This is how it'll come by itself, all right? It is very similar functionality-wise to the X2 that I reviewed. It has 4 modes and then a turbo. It has a strobe and an SOS, and then it has fully adjustable brightnesses. Not fully, I should say. It has adjustable brightness ranges for each mode. So it's sort of fully adjustable because you can set each mode, but you can't, I'll show you in a second. So from off, you just tap and that will turn on. This is your battery indicator. So if that is on for 5 seconds, that tells you that you have a basically 90 to 100% battery. If it is half blue, it's 5 seconds, and then it'll tell you it's 90 to 40%. If it's anywhere below that, it'll show red, and then obviously when it's dead, it's dead. But that indicator stays on for 5 seconds to not waste battery, I guess. It's not always on. It has memory, so right now we're in, I don't know, medium or something like that. So we'll just go here. Now we were actually in, this is eco mode, which is still quite a hefty amount of lumens. It is 20 lumens, but it can go up to a certain number. Let me pull out the instructions because it'll tell us. This light comes with not the bicycle clamp. I just threw that in there, but it comes with this sort of sheath deal here, which I think in this case is very handy because it's a big one. You do have a belt strap, you have another strap, so you can figure out, or a hook there, you can figure out what you want to do. That goes with the bike clamp. You get your instrucciones, which I read for once, and then you get some accessories. And in here, I didn't even open this, you're gonna have a USB-C cable and a lanyard mabobber jimmy jammer, which is pretty cool actually. And then there's your USB-C to C. So that's what you get in the box. This is an attachable lanyard. I guess you could do it where you attach it on both sides. Let's see, here's an attachment point right here. Is there another one? No, there's only one. So you could attach it. Well, I guess what you could do, is attach it like this, right? Let me turn it off. Attach it like this in there, and then take this guy and hook that ring, and that might be why they have it like that. And then now you have a lanyard and a, hand loop, whatever you want to call it. And you can, I guess, tighten that down. Well, you can't really, that's not changing the hand loop, is it? That would only tighten it there, but you guys get how these work. It is pretty cool, and it's kind of nice to have that attached to your light for something this size. You know what I mean? I'm going to leave that on there, actually. So that's what you get with it. Again, here's your instructions. The reason I wanted to pull these out is to give you those lumen counts, because it does tell you adjustable. So eco is 20 to 400. That's a big field right there. So this is your eco mode. Now I can you just tap once and then hold. So I think you do a double click and hold, basically. 1, 2, hold. And then you'll see how it's getting darker. When it blinks, that's the minimum. When it blinks again, that's the max. So that right there is 400 lumens. So I think for eco, I would want it pretty low. So I'm going to set it there at 20 lumens, right? So that's eco. Now you hold, and you're going to go to low mode. Now I can choose anywhere from 400 to 1,000 lumens. And again, click and hold. And it'll lower that. Okay, I thought I didn't do it. So that's where I would want it. I would want it at 1,000 lumens, because I'm now using the not low mode, right? So for me, I'm basically looking at it low. I don't know. But then again, this has, if you look at it, it has 20 to 400, 400 to 1,000, 1,000 to 2,000, and 2,000 to 3,000. So for me, I guess I would want 20, and then I would want 400, then I would want 1,000, and then I would want 3,000. That's the way I would set it up. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So we started with, let's rotate around here. And yeah, it gets bright, guys. So this one's at 20. Now we want this one to be at 400, I think. So let's get it to the lowest. So that's the brightest. Let's bring it back down. Once it blinks, I'll let go. Okay, so that one's at 400 lumens now. And then this one I'm going to want at 1,000. So accidentally went too far. Okay, oops, on, off. Sorry, I'm learning. So this is eco, low, and then we want to adjust this medium to 1,000 lumens. So we want it on the lower end. Okay, So that's the lower end of that one. And then this high is 2,000 to 3,000. So I want it on the higher end of that one. So it's getting lower. So we're going to let it blink. And then we're going to let it come all the way back up and blink again. And I'm going to let go when it blinks. Okay, so right there. So now we've set those to what we desired, which was 20, 400, 1,000, and 3,000. I think that makes the most sense in terms of a range. Because if you did like 400 lumens on this one, well, then you don't really have like a low mode. And if you do 1,000 on this one, then you're so close to these that it doesn't really make sense. So to have like decent steps in your brightness, I think 20, 400, 1,000, and then 3,000 makes the most sense. That's my opinion. You can obviously do whatever you want. Now, there's going to be strobes in this video, so obviously, you know, take heed of that. You can strobe with this. So triple click. You're going to get into strobe. If you want to switch to SOS, triple click again. So you have to triple click, then triple click again for SOS. It does not have memory on strobe mode. So if I click off or back on, we're not going to end up on strobe. And it does not remember which strobe you're in. So to get to SOS, you have to do 6 clicks, 3 at a time. Does that make sense? So back on, we're going to be on this high mode. So like I said, it has memory. This is high, but if I turn it off, and let's say I have it memorized on high, but I just want eco mode. I want low right now because I'm walking into the bedroom and I don't want to have to think about memory and everything. You just hold down. And now you're automatically on your eco mode, which for me is 20 lumens. You can set that up to 400 if you want. Click back off. If you want to lock it, click 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it'll blink to confirm you've locked it. So now all it does is give you basically a blue light when you do that. Maybe it would be red if the battery was dying. I don't know. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're back on. And the cool thing about, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I was going to say the cool thing is it doesn't turn on when you do that. So it does. I wish it didn't. I wish lights, when they unlock, they didn't turn on. Because maybe you're just unlocking it for the day or something like that. You don't need it, you know? So here's your functionality we talked about here. Click it once, turn it on, basically. 4 times is lock and unlock. Hold for eco. The only one I haven't shown you is turbo. It's the usual. Double tap for turbo. This thing is listed at 12,000 lumens. And it's freaking bright. I can't tell if it's 12,000 lumens. I don't know. I mean, it's hot like right here. I'm feeling the heat. I could literally warm my hands with this sucker. Now, it will stay on that 12,000 lumens for 1 minute. And then it will drop down to 3,000. So what we're going to do here is a little bit of a test. I'm going to let it cool off for a second. And I don't do a ton of runtime tests. It's just hard for me to spend that much time. I mean, if it's going to be on an hour of runtime, that's a long time to just leave something on and sit there. So what I'm going to do is get a timer going, and we're going to see how this sucker does, basically. So I want a stopwatch, right? Not a timer. So here we go. We have a stopwatch, and we're going to kick it on to turbo, and then we're going to click the stopwatch. I'm going to put this on Do Not Disturb. All right. So, couple things to note. It does heat up, but it has internal fans. These fans are actually waterproof, which is pretty impressive. I am going to do some outdoor testing with this light. I just need to find a night where it's not miserable. Like this past weekend has just been miserable, so I don't want to do it because it's foggy and it's a little less accurate, I've found. So I will do some testing, and I'll include that at the end of the video. So by the time this video goes up, I'll have done that. So if you want to skip to the testing part, which is basically just me outdoors messing around with the light, you can do that. So let's get ready. I'm going to double tap and then hit start. And we're going to see when it steps down. They say a minute, so I just want to see. Now, I'm guessing I'll notice a pretty good drop off from 12,000 to 3,000, but you hear the fan? That's cool. Wow. That's cool. All right, I need to pay attention. Built-in fans. That's impressive, guys. I've never had a light with a fan. That's wild. 40 seconds. I'm thinking it's going to be a gradual step down. I think it's happening already, but I'm not sure. Yep. There it goes. Right? Yeah. So right now we're at, ooh, I hear something cooking. We're at 1 minute. Stop. And I think we've stepped down to the 3,000 lumens. So you can smell it. It's not burning. It's just the fan is, it's doing fan smells. That's wild, dude. It's hot, but it's not anywhere near hot down here. Down here, it's like maybe a little warm up here. It's fine down here. Up at the head, it's pretty hot, but it's not like, cooking or anything. I can hold it pretty well. And it's obviously cooling down now. That was pretty wild, right? Now, I would say it started stepping down around 40 seconds. And then I think it slowly brought it down to 3,000 over, the last 20 seconds. Just to confirm, that is full brightness. Okay? And let's see when it steps down this time. I can get a better look at it. So let's turn it off. Get the stopwatch out again. Do lap number 2. Is that how you do it? So, yeah, start and set it again. I want to let it cool down, though. So let's keep talking for a minute. There's some cool design details on here. I mean, all of these cool elements are on here. I mean, it's a big-ass light. I should give you a size comparison, huh? So that's the Wuben X1. Here's an Olight Warrior Nano. So that's very small. Here's a Malkoff MDS with a double A tube on it. This is MDC E2S. Just so you can see, it's longer than the Malkoff, which is, a double A size light. That's pretty big. Here's my CWF Peanut, which is sort of thick in pocket, but short, right? Triple emitter over here. Triple emitter over here. These are in a row, and they're just massive. I mean, look at that. Like here, let me show you the one Malkoff. This is a thrower, by the way. Now, more of a pocket thrower, but look at that. This is one emitter that is pretty beastly. And you have 3 just ginormous ones in there. That's wild, man. That's a big boy. All right. It's still a little warm, but let's let it cook again and see what happens. I'm going to try to pay more attention this time to the step down. So, oh, there we go. Wait for those fans to kick in. All right, I'm paying attention. The light is out to here. Try to keep my finger here so we can see if that changes or if it just darkens. Should say like the heat of the hot spot is right here. It's always hard when you're staring at it to like notice the change. If they make it gradual enough, it's hard to tell. Like right now, I feel like it's already stepped down. Yeah, there it goes. It's really ramping down. And then it should cut and hold at 3,000 lumens. So right now, it's boom, 2 minutes. So I would say it's more like 40 seconds on turbo, which I think is still impressive. I have no issue with that. The body is all warm now. It's warm all here, but it's not hot. I can hold it. And that's why it steps down, right? It has thermal regulation. It knows I got to cut back here or this thing's going to be cooking. So it cuts down to 3,000 lumens, and then you can keep seeing it 3,000 lumens for an hour, right? Or you could double tap back to turbo at some point if you really wanted to. But yeah, it definitely gets hot. So caution, it gets hot, you know? Very cool looking LEDs in there. And then you have your reflectors. Each one has its own sort of reflector, but they're like half moon right here, which is wild. And let me pull up the website. I'll give you the pricing and we can know exactly what's in here. So 12,000 lumens, 994 feet. So basically 1,000 feet beam distance. And it's 5.06 inches long. But it's definitely thick. 1.7 hours of constant current at 3,000 lumens. So they're not giving you the, oh, we give you 3 days of use or whatever like that shit. You know, they're saying 1.7 hours, and that's on this brightness right here, which is really bright, right? 2, 3. This is very bright. You can get an hour of runtime on 3,000 lumens. That's pretty impressive to me. Built-in waterproof fans. And then you can charge it in 2 hours. That's pretty cool. Now, do they give us the emitters? Because I know some of you guys are going to want to know. So it's got two 21700 cells in here, right? Those are big. I have an Olight here that takes those batteries just to show you. That is a 21700 cell. So you have 2 of these sitting in there. That is wild. So you can get up to 220 hours on the lowest setting. Which, dude, you get 220 hours on this. I mean, that's not nothing. You know what I mean? Like, guessing you wouldn't actually get that, but let's say you got 150, 200 hours out of that. I don't know why you would need it, but, you know, it would do it. That's a lot. 12,000 lumens. Where do we get the 379 grams? Does it tell us the there we go. 3 Cree XP XHP 70.2 LEDs. All right. So hopefully that helps you guys. Some of you I know are real nerds about what's going on there. So here's some other information if you want to pause and read any of this. But that's everything I wanted to show you. So yeah, I will I'll try to get this guy outside as soon as I can. Wrap up the video there, and I will post this up for you. But that's my review on this. You know, to me, this is a in the truck, you know, or in the go bag camping something light. This is not, excuse me, this is not something I would ever consider for EDC or anything. I'm not quite sure I would even consider it for around the house use because of the form factor. You know, I much prefer, if you're going to have a big ass light, I'd much prefer it be a big round light that I can hold like this. And if I'm going to be outside, just, you know, I don't know how to explain that, but if it's around the house or for the back door or the garage or something, I think something rounder makes more sense. Where this, I think, is good for, like, you could put it somewhere, right? You can use this bike clamp, right? You could get this all set up and then clamp it onto something at the campsite or, you know, at your hobo village or whatever you're going to use it for. That is where this comes in handy, I think. It's got the active cooling, so you can sit it there on 3,000 lumens for an hour. So, yeah, Very cool. It's huge. I love it. I think the Wuben X2, which is the smaller version I already reviewed, is also fantastic. So check that out. They have a lot of cool stuff. I checked out the X3. I believe that's the one that looks like an owl and you can spin and rotate it. That one's really cool. That one's actually in my truck right now. So I definitely think they have a unique type of product at Wuben. Not necessarily going to be for everybody though, and it's all kind of for use case. I wouldn't EDC any of them. I haven't had a Wuben light yet that I would EDC. All of them have been for other purposes. Throw it in the truck, you know, keep it in a go bag or whatever. Throw it on your bike, stuff like that. I haven't seen anything that would be good for my pocket yet. Hopefully that'll change in the future, but you know, there you go. I love you guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like and subscribe. Let me know if you're enjoying all the flashlight content. I'm enjoying it. I'm learning new stuff, and that's 7.4 volt. Damn, because you're doubling up on 3.7 volt batteries. And if I can do math, that pumps you out at 7.4 volts. That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. All right. I love you guys. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you guys later. All right. This is my last little review out here in the freezing cold at this park. I have the Wuben X1 here, and this is the big boy. I saved this till last because, you know, it's got 12,000 lumens, and I don't... You know, I might need to run after. So here we go. I got to unlock it. So 4 taps. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll light her up, as you can see. Turn it off. We'll come on moonlight here. This is moonlight. And yeah. So I use that soccer goal out there to the straight. Let me turn this a little bit. Use that soccer goal over to the right as an indicator, about 50 yards. And then there's trees over there about 150, I think. Maybe 100, I'm not quite sure. So here we go. I think on this one, do I tap? Nope, okay, it's just like everything else. You hold down, got it. So that was low. This is gonna be our medium. Now, this is a triple emitter side-by-side light. This is gonna be more for flood, right? This is not meant to be a spotlight like the other lights I've really been out here with tonight, but this looks great. We can kind of look over here at this playground right here, and it looks pretty lit up. I mean, I would definitely bump it up a notch if I was out here. So I am out here, but you get what I'm saying. So there, this should be about I don't know, it's either 1,000 or 2,000 lumens. And then we have one that's 3,000 lumens, but you can see how it illuminates a very wide area. It's not exactly throwing distance, right? We're not even touching those trees out there. Not in person anyway. We're barely touching that goal, but everything around me is pretty much lit up, right? So like this playground is looking really lit up. Let me see if I can go up another notch. So there is high. So this is 3,000 lumens right here. And I can sit on this mode for 1 hour and 7 minutes, which, I mean, that's crazy, right? You can, you know, it has a fan built in and all types of shit. So this is impressive. I have a whole soccer field lit up right now. An entire soccer field. So, I mean, if that tells you anything, it's bouncing off those trees, but it's not really, you know, illuminating that. I guess it is. Same with the goal. So it's doing a good job. Maybe those are 100 yards, not 50. So let's kick this puppy into overdrive. The fans are gonna kick on and everything. So here we go. So you get about a minute out of this, and this is 12,000 lumens. Look at this playground over here. It is daylight on that playground right now. That is absolute insanity. That soccer field is like, you could play a game in this. That is crazy. Here's the baseball field. That's insane. Now it's gonna start tapering down in a second, and that's kind of what it does, sorry. So you can't sit on this 12,000 lumens for a really long period of time. You can see it starting to taper down a little, I think. See how it does. Takes about 40 seconds, I noticed, but maybe since I'm out in the cold, it won't taper down quite as quick. It's still going. There we go. Now you can see it tapering down a little bit, I think. The fan's kicking in. Maybe you can hear it. Yeah, we've definitely tapered down at this point. But we still have this whole soccer field illuminated. I mean, that whole playground is lit up. So now you can sit on this 3,000 lumens for another like 50 minutes or something. It's crazy, guys. So there you go. I'm gonna hit strobe real quick just for the shits and giggles. There you go. Nothing crazy. SOS. All right. And off. So there you go, guys. That is the Wuben X1. A little bit of a demo video. I'm gonna set it down over here, the camera, and I'm gonna take a little bit of a walk out and just show you guys what it looks like from a little bit of a distance. All right, here we go. All right, here you guys go. Wuben X1. Thanks for checking out the video. I love you guys. Hope you have a great day. Peace.